Good afternoon, scale tippers, and welcome to Badger's Point. Today we're going to be covering a video that was done by the Ranting Monkey entitled, The Amazing Atheist is Right, but Also Wrong. Now, as you can see from my title, I was heavily inspired by the Ranting Monkey's video, and I also want to preface this with, I really respect the Ranting Monkey as a content creator. I don't have any problem with him as a person. It is just this one video that I disagree with, and we're going to get into that. So, one of the things that the Ranting Monkey states over and over again is it's still illegal. It's still illegal. Basically saying the law is the law, okay, and that we have to enforce the laws that are on the books. We don't like it, change it. The problem with that is basically trying to claim orders are orders, and we already saw that this is garbage. It's an appeal to authority that is not in any way a good way to back your argument. As a matter of fact, we have seen that orders are orders is garbage as far back as the year 1474 with the trial of Knight Peter von Hagenbach, or Hagenbach, however you want to say his name. He allowed certain atrocities to be committed under his command. He, during his trial, tried to argue that I was just following the orders of my Duke, the Duke of Burgundy. The court rejected this argument. And the thing is, if you're a knight, the person you serve, his words are law, okay? So the law is the law, it's on the books, is not an excuse for anything. It's not a reason, really, for anything, if said thing is wrong by itself, okay? So to sit there and argue that we have to enforce the laws, okay, Ranting Monkey, let's try this little mental exercise. It's World War II. They have issued the order that all Japanese citizens of the United States of America must go to internment camps. Are you going to rat out your neighbors? You going to turn them in if they don't go? Because if you say yes, I doubt your morals. If you say no, you're a hypocrite. Yes, this is a gotcha moment, and it's a douchebag move, I know, but it serves the purpose of my point, which is the law is not an excuse for crap. The law is the law was an excuse to return slaves to masters, was an excuse for everything that happened under Hitler's regime, most things that happened under Mao Zedong, most things that happened under Stalin, most things that happened under Pol Pot. The law is the pettiest form of justification used by every tyrant throughout history. So no, doesn't work. If you really want to get into it, if the law is the law, should we enforce the insane blue laws that are on the books? Like, it's illegal to wear slippers at night. If you well, actually, I think it's after 10 p.m. You know, it's a particular state law that it's illegal to wear slippers after 10 p.m. or 10 a.m., something like that. It is illegal to sleep with shoes on in another state, and in a third state, it's illegal to walk with an ice cream cone in your back pocket, but only on Sunday. Should those laws be enforced? If, does that make sense? Should we? And to sit there and say, oh, the law's the law, we should just follow it, and that we should not get riled up, we shouldn't get out in the street and protest. No, just contact your congressman. No. Okay? First of all, the law is the law. In this case, is dangerous. Because in this case, the law is giving the government the right to dictate what you can own and put into your body. Okay? That is what you are giving the government the power to dictate. You are giving the government the power to dictate what you can consume because they say it's dangerous either to you or other people. Okay, that it impacts society, or it's dangerous to you, or but my children. Okay? And you can go and try and cry slippery slope all day long, but we have seen how laws progress into getting abusive, okay? We have started out with very minimal gun control and just progressively chipped away at the Second Amendment. We have started out with very strong privacy protections for the average person, and we have seen it chipped away little by little with the exact same bullshit justifications that they use for weed. So this law is the law is garbage, and trying to say that it won't lead to a slippery slope is garbage as well, because we've seen it happen. Okay? Allowing this to stand without serious opposition leads to, well, no, let me retract that. It has a high likelihood of leading to other things being put on the books using the exact same justification. For example, New York tried to ban sugary soft drinks over a certain size. I don't know if that even still stands, but it might. Okay? So what's next? Oh, first they banned weed. I didn't speak up because I didn't smoke weed. Then they banned sugary drinks. I didn't speak up because, well, sugary drinks are bad. Then they were telling you what you could feed your kids. Or then they were telling you you had to wear a Fitbit for government-mandated exercise time. How far will we let it go? Okay? And you sit there and you complain about, oh, protests are bad, okay? Just write your congressman. Plessy versus Ferguson did not get repealed by writing congressman. Well, not just by writing congressman. Slavery laws did not get repealed by writing our congressmen. Okay? Hitler's laws didn't get repealed by writing the German government. No. Okay? At a certain point, people need to let it be known vocally and visibly that we're done with intrusions into our private life. And this may very well be one of them. I don't know if I care enough about it to protest personally, because I don't use drugs. I don't think very highly of people that use mind-altering substances like marijuana. And, people could go, oh, but you drink. The thing is, you smoke, you get high. I have one beer, I'm not drunk. And I don't drink more than a couple scotches or 2 beers, and then I'm done, because that's not me. However, I don't feel that my view should restrict the liberties of other people. And that's the biggest problem I have with a lot of what you're saying, Ranting Monkey. And then we get into the whole, oh, they have a duty to enforce this. No, they don't. Marbury versus Madison. Justice, what's his name? Marshall, there we go. Chief Justice Marshall actually has said a law repugnant to the Constitution is void. And sorry, Ranting Monkey, but I don't see anywhere in the Constitution that gives clear authority to the government on what you can or cannot put into your body. Don't see it. So, honestly, I consider it repugnant to the Constitution. And we could try with the whole, well, the courts have upheld it. There's precedent. There was precedent for Plessy versus Ferguson, too. Doesn't make it right, buddy. So, again, garbage argument if we try that. So, basically, it's a very dangerous thing to allow this to stand. People should be very concerned about this. Maybe enough to the point where we get out in the streets. And, you talking about protests like they're always stupid, and that's how it came off. Maybe it's not what you meant, but that's how it felt from the tone of your video. That's not accurate. Okay, at a certain point, we have to stand up and say no. We were not founded by people that were like, oh, please, dear king, let us be free. Please, dear king, stop taxing us. No, we got into the streets. And at a certain point, we got rough about it. And it was over a hell of a lot less than the king or government telling you what you could or couldn't eat, or put in your body, or however you want to word it. Okay? So, to sit there and try and argue against protests is silly. We were founded by hellraisers. Whether or not I agree with the particular thing being protested about is moot point. Now, how do I feel this should be handled? First of all, I do think that the president should use his ability as commander of the executive branch to curtail the Department of Justice from enforcing this until he works with the legislative branch to get it repealed. And yes, he can do that. It is well within the president's purview to tell the Department of Justice how to operate. You have no duty to enforce an unjust law. And this law is unjust. Further than that, I think that any jury that gets a narcotics case or drug case or however you want to word it before them should practice jury nullification, refuse to convict, so long as it's on things like possession or being under the influence. Now, do I think being under the influence should be a crime in and of itself? No. However, it should also not be an excuse. Meaning, if I were to get hyped up on bath salts because it's legal, and then I go out and eat somebody's face, there should be no leniency. There should be no give if you choose to use these things when they're legalized. You should not get a pass just because you chose to get fucked up. That's how I feel that this should be handled until we repeal it, and repeal it we should. That's the Badger's point.